Hello, welcome to Fashion Chat with Allister and Donna. I'm Donna.
And I'm Allister. Today we're going to be talking about handbags.
Or as I say, purses.
Or pocketbooks.
Or wallets. We're just not sure. Or if we're really shushy, we say bags.
Yes. I think it's regional.
I think so.
I do. Or maybe it's just old-fashioned, because my grandmother would, my grandmother would say, go upstairs and get my pocketbook.
Yeah,
I don't know.
my mom always said purse. So in Texas, we say purses.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, but you call grocery bags sacks.
I do.
Yeah,
What do you call them?
grocery bags.
Anyway, so today we're going to talk about Donna's purses, my purses. Not because they're the greatest purses in the world, but because they're interesting because each one has a shape that might or might not be working for me. And they have uses that might work every day, but might just be for a special occasion. So we're going to talk about this one. This is my everyday bag. And as my son told me the other day, he looked at it and he said, "You've had that forever, since I was born." This is a Stuart Weitzman purse from probably, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Maybe, yeah.
It's been repaired about 4 or 5 times. It has new straps and the bottom has been repaired, but it's really nice leather. And the thing about this is it's big, so I can fit everything in it, and it's black, which means it's all-purpose. But it's not a bag that I would think everybody could carry because it's kind of big, it's kind of heavy, and it's sort of
It's a weapon.
It's sort of dramatic with the chain. So
Yeah.
this isn't a bag that you would carry. No.
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 I
But
feel like I would have to have black leather pants and a black. I mean, it's kind of.
it works for me because I'm tall enough to
Yeah,
do
you're tall.
it, but it's not something that would work for everybody. But I got it on sale after Christmas, so it was still an expensive bag, relatively speaking, but I got it for 70% off or something. I've repaired it, so it was a good buy. It's lasted.
Well, one of the things too that I find really distressing these days is I go into the stores and I see these pocketbooks and they're $800, $900, $1,000, and the leather is trash. The leather is so bad on these pocketbooks, and they're foisting them off on people like they're really a good bag. And it's all belly leather. It's not good leather, and it's a shame. I think if you can, go to the vintage stores and see if you can pick up some of these, handbags and stuff, because you'll have a much better bag. And I'm talking about top department stores. I've really been very upset when I see the quality of leather.
Well, but how can you tell about the leather? What tells you it's a poor quality leather?
Well, a lot of times you can tell by the feel. A good calfskin, like calfskin gloves, they're going to be very soft. They're going to have texture to them. You're kind of going to want to stroke them. A lot of the leathers that you're seeing, they're coarser. It's like cheap wool. It feels like cardboard kind of thing. And I'm talking, if you really want to get good leather, then you're looking at a $5,000 bag nowadays. And it used to be, 10, 20 years ago, you could get a nice quality bag in leather for not, perfect example, the old Coach bags, the legacy bags that they're doing. It was a drum tanned calf, was durable, but it was a good leather bag. Now, Coach, they go in, they've got the really inexpensive leathers, they got the shiny leathers that are going to crack, and they want you to pay $500 or $600 for this bag, and it's like, it doesn't warrant your money. I don't think it warrants your money.
So if
go for something really good and
that will last.
Wear
Now
it to death.
this leather, this was the leather. This wasn't the original leather. This
yeah,
was
but
what
this is
the
good and
this
good
is.
strong.
It is because it's lasted, as I say, 10 years or at least 8.
It doesn't, and you can polish it. You
Yeah.
know, you can bring it back up. See, that's the thing with some of these, you can't bring it back up to looking halfway decent.
So we're going to go on
That's
to
good. This is what I'm talking about.
this
That's nice
one.
quality.
This is probably my most expensive purse. This is what I would think of as a pocketbook, but I would call it a wallet. But it's really kind of like an evening wallet. dressier. You can use it as a purse.
Or a wristlet.
A wristlet. This is by Lanvin. Is that how you say that? And this was a present from my brother. Hence why it's a nice purse. But I do have problems with it because I haven't figured out where to put all my stuff. But it has places for your credit card, for your money, and then the zipper. You can tell this is going to last a long time because it feels heavy. It moves nicely.
Yeah, it's well put in there. Probably what's going to happen here is you just got to break it in.
It'll open.
Well, see, they're sewn pockets. So
as Allister pointed out to me, one of the reasons this was expensive and why it's nice is the way that the pockets in here are made, which I didn't know. And what do you mean by sewn?
well, everything, it's not cut. It's not. In other words, you don't have a straight piece of leather. And they do this sometimes, where they just cut a slice in the leather and then put a little seam on it. It's actually a pocket that's been made and sewn into it,
so it's more durable.
And it's also done with leather. So you're going to keep putting that in there, but it's leather. If it's fabric, ultimately as the card goes against the fabric, it's going to rip.
Okay, I see.
So this is just going to give and get better with age. It's the way it's supposed to be made.
So
but they don't do it the way it's supposed to be done anymore.
So in 20 years, this is going to look probably almost as fabulous as it does right now.
Exactly.
And right now, this is probably 4 or 5 years old. I haven't used it a lot, but I've started using it recently.
Yeah, and you know the thing about this, you see, now of course I've got to get in the act here, is you can fit your phone in there.
Really?
Sure you can. You can get your phone in there. I don't have a phone on.
Well, we're going to have to try it. Okay, I didn't think you could.
I think you can. As you break this in, that's another thing about good bags. There used to be that period where you broke the bag in. Nowadays, I'm not so sure.
So so far I've done well in my choice of bags. The next one is a bag that's probably more than 20 years old, but it's in trend because it's a saddle bag. This was just a fun bag because it's red.
Where'd you get it?
At the Culbert's.
Oh my goodness, that's
Not anymore.
how sad. Yeah, that's cool.
It's a fun little bag. It actually came.
Oh, it's made in Spain.
It's made in Spain. It actually came with matching shoes, which I've long since lost, but they were red and black. I loved them. This is a little small for me. I always feel a little shushy, like it's not quite working for me.
You know, I have a couple bags from Spain. It used to be for a long time, Spain was known for their fine leathers. You go to Spain, you bought leathers. I haven't seen them really do a lot of importing with that anymore.
No leather anymore?
No.
Is this a leather bag?
I don't know. I'm going to guess it probably is. I don't know. We can look it up. We can look up the vintage. Well,
it's a fun bag. It's a great color for me. I love red, and it is a saddle bag. So if I were to start carrying it now, it is with the trends that we're seeing with saddle bags. Saddle bags. Oh, and I never figured this out, but it's called a saddle bag because, well, here you say.
no, because of the way it's designed. Technically, it's a little bit more stylish than a saddlebag because of the shape here, but it's just this with the flap that goes over it,
Which is
really nice.
how they used to carry things on the horses.
Exactly right. I'm going to guess this probably is leather, judging from the wear right there.
Ah, okay.
So good call, good
So far I'm doing pretty well
You
here
are
with
doing
my
pretty well.
bags.
That's really good. See, because it's vintage, you know, it's got a good feel to it. That's
Yeah,
nice.
this is an old bag that just because of its make is wouldn't look like it was necessarily old.
The thing, yeah. Now,
This is a bag that people either love this or hate this.
Yep.
And you're not saying which one you. It has a long chain, so it's kind of a hard bag to carry. But you can't carry it on your arm because then it's way down at my knees. I tend to carry this on my shoulder, and it's just a big space. So there's no dividing. There's nothing to put in it. I bought this in Chicago in 1996.
Oh my God. You know, either we buy it and keep it, and then it
Yeah.
becomes vintage. We make them vintage because we keep them.
And again, that bag only that is not a bag that would work if you're not
You do.
tall.
Yeah.
You need to be tall-ish. I'm not that tall, but that just because it's so big and it has such a long chain and it's not it has not a lot of storage in
It's
it.
kind of fun.
It's a fun bag. I wear it, 3-4 times a year. It's not a go-to bag.
Now, this was a bag from the 1970s. I think about 76.
It probably was. This was actually my grandmother's, or my husband's grandmother. I'm not quite sure. I ended up with a lot of evening bags. But this is a great bag.
That was their Sunday go to church or lunch bag. They wore it with their little suits. It's beautifully done on the inside.
It's very nicely done inside. It has
Good luck finding
zip,
that nowadays.
a zipper. The zipper is broken.
It's all leather inside.
That's leather. So it's not a fabric lined purse. It's oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it feels like leather.
It does. I never noticed it. The chain has not come undone in the clasp. It hasn't come undone. So this is very definitely a vintage bag. It's not big enough for every day, but it's certainly a bag that you could take to a lunch. I use it as an evening bag.
I have one very similar to that. It's so stupid because I do, like ladies, when you have to go to a charity lunch or something, it's so funny. And I haul it out only because I'm too cheap to buy something. And every time I do it, somebody's like, oh, that is so cool. That is so good. It's like, but it's good leather. The chain, whatever the chain is that I have, it's not nicked or anything. So it all looks really, really nice. And it's like, oh, that's a really nice bag. And
It's old enough
you know how old this is?
Right.
Oh
It's
God.
old enough that it looks interesting.
Yeah.
Still.
It's like, they can't pay it. They can't go, oh, I saw that in Nordstrom's the other day.
Right.
I'm like, where did she get that?
This is another one of my bags that this is probably my newest handbag purse. It's 5 years old. And I bought it when I was traveling because it's the only bag I have that is the crossbody. And it's small enough that I figured it didn't make me look as wide as a whaling ship on the hip. But it's small enough that you can't get a lot in here, but I can get a wallet, I can get my sunglasses without my glasses case, and a purse and the keys. So it's come in really handy traveling, and it makes a great little, again, lunch bag that's a little less formal looking than this one. So it's the same, sort of the same size. It's not a good carry-all bag for me. It's not a bag that I would take with me to like to a sporting event. This is kind of a...
Yeah, I understand.
It's a little too small.
Well, the thing about crossbody bags that I've noticed is the young girls carry them, and they carry really stylish crossbody bags, really cute. And they usually, like a Michael Kors or something, they've got a lot of fashion and style to them. And then older women have adopted them, 50 and above, but they go for the more utilitarian bagalinis that I have to admit, I have two of them that in my mind have absolutely no style. They're completely, oh yes, I'm going to go on a trip, and for some reason you then decide that you need to carry a crossbody bag.
Right. So if this were a little bit bigger and it could be a little bit bigger and still work for me, I think, and have some style, because this is a pretty stylish bag.
Yeah, it's more like what a younger person would look for. Somebody told me the other day at a resale shop that the younger girls are looking for the legacy Coach bags to wear as crossbody bags. It's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. They look so cute with your skinny jeans and then the older bag and the vintage and stuff.
But crossbodies are kind of hard to wear again if you're shorter. Is that right?
I think so. I never feel comfortable. I always feel like...
It's always better if you have a bag, if you're shorter, that you can carry like this on the
Make
shoulder.
me feel
The crossbody.
They always make me feel dumb.
I think
And I'm short. I'm like only 5'3". So
I think they kind of make me feel that way too.
I don't know why.
And here's another bag
That's fun.
this was my grandmother. She got it from the fancy dress store in Corpus Christi, probably in the mid-60s or something like
Probably
that.
it looks like one of those. Yeah. It does look like a
And
60s
I love it. I love the straw. I love the red. But I've never, and it is pretty big. You can see inside. It's pretty big. This is obviously fabric, not leather. So you can tell it hasn't been used very much at all, either by my grandmother or by me. I've never quite felt comfortable with it. And as Allister said to me today, it's a little too small for me. So it's verging on being prissy, which I think is a great explanation of why I never really liked it, because I don't want to be prissy. So there you go.
We've been friends for a long time. We can say
I'm
this stuff to each
not
other.
prissy.
Don't look a little prissy there. Don't wear that.
Now this is a bag that it's sort of like this one. You know, if I don't want to be black in the summer, I can wear pink. I can use the pink. It's nice and big. It's big enough. It has this zipper right here in the middle. Good quality. I don't have any problems with it.
No.
It has enough little places to put it. The only thing that bothers me about this is that it's pink. And so I'm afraid it's going to get dirty. Because I'm like putting my purse on the floor of the car, on the stands at a sporting event, you know, so I'm worried about it. The other thing is
it's very in color right now. It's
yeah,
the rose quartz is the color of the year. So
right. So this is
really fun.
This is probably a bag that if I wore it, if I start carrying it, would be sort of trendy, on trend because of the color, not necessarily of the structure. Because the bags are more structured now that we're seeing in the magazines.
Yeah.
But the color is right on, and it's nice and big. So, and then this would probably be the most trendy one, just because of the saddle bag.
If you're a keeper of things, some people, get rid of things at the end of the season, and that's fine. And maybe that our fashion chat isn't exactly for you. We're the kind of people, we like the vintage, we keep the handbags, we bring things out and say, yeah, we don't need to run to the store and buy the latest trend. We just want to adopt it to kind of get the look and kind of get the feel for it. So it's fun. And a friend of mine was telling me, she started to go through her bag. She had moved from a house into an apartment. She said I was pulling out all these Coach saddlebags. And I said, well, they're now about $600 or $700, so clean them up and start using them, because the kids are dying to get a hold of these, and Coach is remaking that exact same pattern. So you're right there. So it's really just more about, obviously, it's not high fashion, and that's not the point of it. The point of the thing is just taking it up a notch from which we are all guilty of, yoga pants and t-shirts, and just trying to put it together a little bit more without being inconvenienced. So
I agree.
Fun.
So sort of maybe a style lesson is our sort of tips. Buy the best quality you can afford, and if that means you buy after Christmas or after the holidays, you'll get a much better deal, and it'll last if you buy good quality. Certainly that's the case with this one and with this one, same thing. And after holiday, buy on my part.
If you're going to go trendy, I was at Target. They have the cutest saddlebags, and they're plastic, they're vinyl. If you're Stella McCarthy, they're called Plethora, and she'll charge you $1,000. If you buy them at Target, they're called vinyl, same product, and they'll charge you $30.
Plethora or vinyl.
But
leather.
you got the look, and then at the end of the season, when it's out.
And then if you want some sort of crazy bag like this that you like, great, keep it, wear it every now and then. But it's not going to be your go-to bag. But it's different, and it works for some outfits. Also, don't get the prissy bag. You don't want to be prissy.
Unless you're 5'3", then it's not.
Another tip from Allister is that if you have a bag like this and you don't carry it on your shoulder, if you're carrying it like this, you know, like I know I do, that is perceived as older.
Right. That was the Nora Ephron book where she wrote
So
my neck.
don't do that.
Yes, her great line was, "I just know that any bag you carry on your arm adds 10 years."
So don't do that.
So she told a great story about, she went to Paris with a friend, they searched out the Callie bag and all of this, and she kept thinking, it's going to make her look so old, so old. So her solution to the thing was she went and bought a New York plastic bag of the subway system and carried that, and it sort of became, oh, she's so eclectic and wonderful and neat and cool. So I guess that's the lesson. If you're going to try to slavishly follow the trends, you're going to run out of money real quick. But if you do something quirky and fun, it's quirky and fun.
It's quirky and
Have
fun, maybe not aging.
Right.
So, welcome to the Fashion Chat with Allister and Donna, our Donna's Bags episode. Our next episode is going to be Allister's bags, which are much different than mine. So thanks for watching.
Bye.